stumbled on this like whoa, 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 whoa sound. I feel that that is so iconic to what dubstep is as a genre in this OG dubstep sense, right? And it was so
Right.
new
Let
in
me.
feeling.
But the LFO sound
Mm-hmm.
um, wasn't it wasn't predominant. Like well, dubstep wasn't a thing. Like what I'm about to speak about, like there was no such thing as dubstep. So
Right.
it was at the time, as far as anyone was aware, there was no such thing as bedroom producer.
Right.
Um, we frequented in the record shop, Big Apple, um, and I like obviously everyone associates the early times of me and Benga, but it's Skream and Benga was when it came later. Me
Yeah.
and Benga met via competition, like two boys in the area who made music. But the original, if you listen to, I think there's a DJ Hatchet mix called Practice Hours from 2002. That's where you can hear where look LFOs like as in wah 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 wah.
Mm-hmm.
It was in music, it was in drum and bass and then jungle whatever. But when we wasn't trying to make wah 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 wah, well, I was trying to copy LB, and Benga was more or less trying to copy Wookie, a producer called Wookie. If anyone don't know, I'm talking about LB and Wookie are basically the reason they're screaming Benga, to be fair. And it was the TS404 plugin in Fruity Loops free. And it's the same reason dubstep is 140 BPM is because the default tempo in
Amazing.
Fruity Loops free was 140 because it was a hard house producer's the door. They call it door now, don't they? Door.
Oh
DAW.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Doll. Doll.
And fucking people say to me, what door do you use? I'm like, the fucking front door when I leave. But that was it. Was we were just trying to replicate, and there was basically the TS404 plugin was based on the TB303,
Yeah.
but it was we just it was just the way we learned how to make bass lines. Magical time. I think about it more and more at the
Yeah.
moment because like
What
we were fucking children. Like we were children, like straight up children.
I know. I was thinking about it today when I was in the car driving from my partner's house to here, and I'm just like, these people were like 14. Like, what
The
the
thing is though,
fuck?
what the mad thing is, when I say like it's nothing new, they're being teenage producers now.
Right.
The only reason what defined our sound was we were the only people like in Big Apple Records. So artwork was had the studio above.
Right.
It wasn't normal. Like if you made music, you had a 50 grand studio or a 10 grand
Right.
studio. It wasn't like PlayStation had just brought out Music 2000, which was like which was the starting point for me. This is before I knew Benga. A friend of mine who actually, fun fact, the boy who I first used Music 2000 is, have you heard of Section Boys?
Section boys?
Section Boys are like a drill, really big drill
Oh,
grinder.
sick.
So
Yeah.
it was their, like they were kids then, but it's their older brother who I see using Music 2000. I was like, it can't be that easy. Because I don't, like, the only time I'd see music being made was in studios, like,
Right.
what, you know,
Looks like a
Sweet Little
Stanley
I've got
Kubrick
now.
movie or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it was like, I wouldn't call it dubstep what we were doing at the time. It was, we were trying to copy garage records. And there was this, we didn't realize there was this hype that there was phone calls and there was like, is it true there's these two kids who were like making songs? And it was like, we're like, what kids?
Where are they? I'll beat them up.
It's you. And then but at this point, I still hadn't met Benga. I'm like, it's well documented how I met Benga. I was
Right.
working Sundays, like Sunday afternoons in the record store, and then his brother come in, Benga met my older brother. Benga played back to back with my brother when he was like 11.
Wow, that's
In
fucking
the same car, but
crazy.
my brother was like, "Oh, there's this kid. You might want to meet him." But at that point, I was like, "No, I don't want to meet no one else. Like, I'm the only fucking kid DJ around here." And then in the record shop, Benga's eldest brother, Flash, who fucking I love him. He came in and went like gave me his house number, like the landline, and then that's me and Benga met. We spoke on the phone for probably about 6 months before we met. We just used to play each other's songs on the phone. It's quite like there's a beautiful thing to it. It's insane because you got to think this is before AIM, this is before
Yeah.
MS Messenger. This we were speaking on the house phone, and like my mum would shout at me like, "Get off the phone," and his mum would shout at him but it's like I've only I've like that the story and history of not even dubstep, but like me and Benga, like I find it to like it's beautiful, and I know it sounds soppy, but it's like I only notice it as much now where it was we were like it just wasn't a known thing like what we were
Yeah.
doing. It was like at school you was told get grades to basically work for the system or whatnot. We were both weren't the best behaved children. We didn't go to the same school, but like we were very similar. And I don't think he'd met anyone like me, and I hadn't met anyone like him. You know, like on the same wavelength. Like in a way of like actually finding someone who gets it, who gets what you like, not the fucking box, like outside the box.
It's so
But then,
special
yeah,
to find a kindred spirit like that. And
he was mine, and I was his, and it was like it's insane. It's like what I was saying. Like I'm noticing it more now because it's so normal for there to be a 13-year-old DJ or producer. But at the time, I can't stress enough. It was not normal. It was there was we like luckily we happened to live kind of in the same area.
yeah, that
Because
is
if
crazy that you
it could
happen
have
to both be doing it.
if it was half hour another way, we would never have met.
It's
And
true.
it's like it wasn't normal what like we weren't going to school and we was meeting up and was going to make songs. Like it wasn't normal. And like we go DJing in churches to fucking loads of drunk kids and shit.
Yes, churches, just drunk kids. I
No, well,
love
no, because
it.
what it was anywhere where you could have a party. So it's like proms almost. Like that's the easiest way I can explain it to American audience. It was like not a prom, but it was like kids meeting up in.
Right.
It would be like a church hall or a social, what they call here a social club.
Yeah.
So like generally in an area where isn't a particularly great area, somewhere where kids can go and hang out, and then we do that. And even before we knew each other, it was like it screamed. No, I didn't want to be called Skream. I used to graffiti Skream, so everyone called me Skream.
Aha,
But
graffiti kid.
yeah. But it was like we were sort of known. And then we met. But I was friends with Benga's brother. That was Benga's older brother, who's my age. Benga's younger than me. But it was like it's just fucking mad. Like I've been thinking about it so much recently because it's just not. It's like it seems so normal and easy now how stuff is, and it just wasn't. It was so we were so lucky to meet each other.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not saying anything, but if we hadn't have met, fucking the universe could have been quite a different place.
That's true. I mean, a lot of people owe their lives to this friendship, this happenstance.
It's like it was just everything that happened was normal because it's what we've done. But like when you look back at it now, like the influence that the 140 BPM had on the world, like this is years after we started, which I always love seeing it progress. Dubstep is now like EDM, like it is. Right. It's the same, right? Like I would obviously there I watched that happen. I was part of that shit happening when we was putting products and whatnot. But if you look into comments on what people reference as OG dubstep, that's 2015 or 14.
Wow.
So, people reference it as like from what I gather, it's like they think more Cookie Monster. Bless.
That's so crazy. I even
And
like,
Mondays and
because to me,
it's like
I
OG Dubstep is
discovered.
like it's like the thing is like the American side of everything up for production skills.
Right. It became
So
about sound
I,
design.
I completely understand why a kid who I'm not saying they're not into dubstep, but like why they don't care about some fucking music that was made on a PlayStation in a fucking forest. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like I get it. Like, and I've always been very quite realist. Like, I understand. Me and when people talk about like bastardizing of the scene and stuff, because there's that big conversation about
Right, of course.
Me and Benga were very much part of the US scene.
Right.
And, like, we toured with Skrill, and like Sonny is my boy for fucking forever. I love him to bit. We wanted to make the sound bigger. We wanted it to travel the world because that's what we fucking like. That was our thing.
Right. It's such a bullshit like thing, fake story when people are like, "Oh, I don't have interest in my music being heard by people," or like, "I don't want this sound to."
The thing is, but me and Benga, everybody else wasn't like me and Benga.
I see.
And like, there was no issues or like problems. Like this, it's the mad thing. Like people will regard Mala as a different entity to Skrillex, but really, fucking Skrill's obsessed with Mala.
Yeah.
But like it was the crowd cared more than the people involved.
Right.
Because me and Benny wanted to fucking headline. We wanted to be big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There was a bit like there was an antisocial side of it, but that wasn't us. And we happened, like the thing is that it all was built around us.
Yeah.
So it was sort of do what we wanted, and I don't think we acknowledged and sort of took much notice of anyone else. We didn't really care.
Yeah.
I don't think we still cared. Well, we care about people's feelings. We never fucking kill. We never like. I know for a fact. Me and Benga was talking like 2 days ago. We'd never change anything for the world.
Yeah.
We fucking had the most amazing time.
Absolutely.
The thing is, I love watching all these fucking bullshit arguments between US, UK. Like, it's fuck off, man. It's like everything it wasn't meant to be about. It wasn't meant to be about. It was like being what you're into. It's just like it's almost the same to a degree of like playing house music when you go out and find people who are into what you're into, and like it was an inclusive industry. So like it's so funny now when I look at like how fucking divided it's become, and that's why I'm really like it plays on my mind because of this intrusive and like this argumentative fucking scene that is dubstep apparently. I have no clue about. But like it's like I'm worried. I'm like fucking. Is it going to be more hassle than it's worth me putting out these dubstep? I'm only putting them out because I've made them.